Hi, welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and let's get right into the story. Listen up. So we covered the story the other morning about two men that were found in a building on Maxfield Avenue, in Jamaica there, and they were shot up pretty badly. The detective who went upstairs, one of the investigating detectives, described it as a mess, a bloody mess, and said a whole heap of gunshot them get up there, So you can only imagine, right? Now, the thing that drew everybody's attention was the picture, because the picture kind of looked like a girl, but is a man. Now, the story that goes with this picture now goes even deeper, which before, when the story first break, they really didn't have anything to tell us other than two men were found in a building, and released the picture. Enough people was beating the Glener for releasing such a picture and saying the Glener wrong for this, the Glener is gaslighting, why them couldn't find a better picture of the man. I'm guessing that some people were thinking, why not find a picture of him looking like a man instead of putting up a picture of him dressed as and looking like a female, what we call today a transsexual. Many people in Jamaica are in denial that transsexuals and homosexuals and all the other sexuals involved on the LGBTQ spectrum are a part of the Jamaican fabric of our society. They want to believe that they do not exist among us, but they do in all facets of our society. So whether you like it or not, them did it. They've been there for a long time, and they look like they're going to be there for a long time after. However, the story behind this now, see, is this. Listen to the story, It goes like this. Because the details says it was extremely emotional for a mother who reportedly had not seen her son for years now. Years Mummy been looking for her son and couldn't find him, as she positively identified him in a body bag at a gruesome scene on Maxfield Avenue on Monday. Long time she look for her picnic, can't find him. If you go back to the Glener or you look at this picture and study the picture good, you will notice that the left hand of the individual is missing. See? We don't know about that story there, but let's get right into that. Her son and another man were killed execution style in the room of a dilapidated building where they had been living together. Now, people, again, on social media like to sensationalize stories and make up stuff just to get views. Talk about, them bring some man go up there and them trick the man them, and the man them did think say a woman, and when them find out say it was two man them just full them up a gunshot up there. Turns out to be nothing like that. We don't know what go on. It could have been a drug deal. It could have been a gun deal. It could have been a hate crime legitimately. It could have been anything. But nobody has the right story yet. Anyways, her son and another man were killed execution style in a room of this dilapidated building where they had been living together. The men were Recco Gale, who is 29 years old, and Kevon Young, the one we saw the picture of, who is 20 years old. Both of them are of a 63 1/4 Maxfield Avenue address, and they were pronounced dead at the Kingston Public Hospital. Here's the thing. When I did the live video about this, me hear enough people, or saw a lot of people came on the live and they were like, yo, SouFlo, round them place the Batman something or run, like it's a serious place, them will kill you around there, so for them thing there, I was expressing myself as well on the video, and I was saying I am from Clarendon, Jamaica, and you see in the rural parts of Clarendon now, if you come around them place there and you kind of, if you are a man, even if you have your little side lifestyle going on, you have to go mask it. And that's just the way things are. Not that I'm glorifying that's violence is doled out to certain types of people if they come into the area. I'm just saying that is the way it is in those rural areas. You're gonna have to run out of there fast, and there's no police or soldier station and police place around there. So for miles and miles. In a them place that we don't even have Burger King, McDonald's and them something there. Are still traditional, old school, everything around there. So a man will draw a lasso and wassy you with it. You understand? So they're not privy to hang out in those areas. However, I've been to other parts of Jamaica, and I expressed this in my video before, where I've seen groups of transsexuals hanging out and chilling and nobody bothering them. I myself at one time told my cousin, yo, come we go look upon a group of girl, yeah. And my cousin I said, no man, a man them there. And me I said, no sir, and a man them there. And him said, alright, me I'll show you. And he actually went and showed me, and it was men. And of course I vacated the premises pretty quickly because that's not my preference. However, to see them out in public in Jamaica like that and no one was bothering them told me that day that Jamaica had changed drastically, right, from what we were before. Now that lends way to our argument of, is Jamaica still a hostile place for homosexuals? Residents were reported hearing explosions sometime after midnight Sunday, but it was not until daybreak that the bodies were discovered and the police summoned to the scene. They say a years now, she no see her son, you know, and him call her with there, yeah, and she tell him to come and live. In other words, come and live back at the house with me. Mummy miss her son. Remember I told y'all on a video before, I said more than likely the people who are endeared to someone, like, because Jamaica has a lot of families that have kicked out their family members, disowned them once they had come out of the closet, so to speak. You know, remember we did the whole Gully Queen thing and all that. We saw that, and those were a lot of who had left home because daddy said not under my blood clot roof and all these things. See, so it was one of those cases. However, she didn't kick our son out. Apparently he left because he wasn't comfortable and he didn't want to be seen as that, but he was known in the community and he wasn't afraid to dress like this and go outside, and he had existed in this community his entire life, right? So for the people who said this can't happen around this, so you know, well, it might be a shock to you to know that Jamaica has changed that much as well, because he was very much a part of that community and everybody around there knew him and knew the other person that he was killed with. Recco Gale and Kevon Young were both known in that community. Residents heard the gunshots and alerted the police, and in the morning when the police went to go look, they saw those bodies there. She say years now that she not see her son, and him call her the other day and she tell him say, if come back at the house, come live. And him say him nah stay with her, right? In other words, he said he's not going back to go live with his mom, who requested, this is what a resident who requested anonymity said to the Glener in an interview. Shout out to the Glener for this article and information. Some residents, mostly women, expressed sadness at their deaths, claiming the men who were believed to be gay were decent citizens. So again, women, mothers, when a man can say, yo, you can't, I know from my seed you come from, you know that not in my genes, move from around here, so a mother is not going to say that. A mother is going to be like, Lord, me don't know where my son come to, but me still have to go love him because my son. See? So, and usually you also see it within our culture. You know, a lot of women have gay friends. They say gay men make the best friends. Me don't know. But out here, some residents, mostly women, came out to express their sadness at the deaths, claiming that the men had lived in the community and they were decent citizens. One person says, Kevon, him dress up like woman. If you see him anywhere, no girl no look good like him. Them live here. Everybody talk to them. You hear that? Kevon, him dress up like woman. And if you see him anywhere, no girl no look good like him. These are residents from the community saying this. Them live here. Everybody talk to them. Kevon born here. And the other one, we know as Wiz. That's Deco, them know him as Wiz. Wiz come here and him live here with Kevon. Another resident said of Young, who was also a transvestite. So 2 transvestites lived in this area that people are telling me is an area where people will kill you around there, so if you perpetrate this type of lifestyle. But Kevin was 20 years old, and they're saying that he had always been like this. So everybody know him, and everybody speaks to both of them in the community. There was never any animosity within the community towards them. They had always existed in the community. You see it. Glenroy Murray, interim executive director of the Gay Rights Lobby Equality for All Foundation Jamaica, said that he was previously unaware of the killings, adding that neither individual had reported any acts of violence towards them to the organization in the past. In other words, they had always been fine. Nobody never bothered them that they needed to go report that they were being bothered because they were gay or, transsexual or whatever. Murray has warned against hastily classifying the double killing as a hate crime. He says, not yet. Equality for All still receives reports from queer people of attacks from homophobic Jamaicans, but anti-gay attitudes are widely popular in certain sections of Jamaica, but there has been growing acceptance of homosexuals here and resistance to violent attacks against LGBT minorities over the past 2 decades. In other words, people now run them down and chop them up again like one time. People now bust gunshot after them and them have to run like one time. Remember, I know that this was such a prevalent thing in Jamaica that they actually made a joke about that was a staple within our society joke. So when people used to want to say you run fast, them never used to say you run fast like Usain Bolt. Them say you run fast like 10 Batman. Because Batman had to be running fast. Them did have to take with themselves faster than Bolt on the 100 meter at the world record, right? And then we made a joke out of it back then. He is saying today, Equality for All is the name of the organization, is saying today that it is not really so anymore. Because although there are attacks, but not as before, because now there seems to be a growing acceptance. Maybe it's not that people accept it, maybe it's that people just don't pay attention to them anymore, right? And are busy with their own lives, and we have other things that are more pressing to deal with other than someone's sexuality. Anti-gay attitudes are widely popular in sections of Jamaica, but there has been a growing acceptance of homosexuals and resistance to violent attacks against LGBTQ minorities, meaning somebody might want to clap them down, but they've decided, hey, you know what? That's not even worth it. Let the people and make them go on. Homosexuality is not illegal in Jamaica, but anal sex is prohibited under what's called the Boogery law. We know based on reports to our organization that human rights violations, especially against the LGBTQ community, continues to happen in Jamaica. There are persons who face verbal and physical abuse because of their identity, Murray said in a Glener interview on Monday. So it's not all gone. It's just like not as prevalent as before. Murray also said that, however, that members of the LGBTQ community are sometimes killed in tragic circumstances that are not connected to opposition to their sexual orientation. But he said that the organization is awaiting details of the police investigation to determine whether this double murder was actually a hate crime. In other words, he's saying, let's not be so hasty to just call this a hate crime. Somebody never liked them, call them a Batman and go kill them. Let's look at what the police finds first, because there has been many instances where members of the LGBTQ community who are classified as gay have come under violent attacks and have been killed, and it had nothing to do with people being mad about their sexuality. A lot of the times it has to do also with their own fighting, their own inner fighting. 2 Batman a fight, right? Or 2 lesbian a fight, and them start cut up and stab up and chop up each other. So we can't just assume that this was a hate crime, right? But he said that the organization is awaiting details from the police investigation before they can actually determine if this was a hate crime or not. In this particular instance, as it is with murders, it's kind of hard. The victim is not alive to be able to say this is the motivating factor, and so we can't just assume that because the person is queer or gay, allegedly, that their death must be for gay or queer related reasons. Gail's mother, who did not speak to the journalists, was seen being consoled by the police as the body bags were being lowered by ladder from the building. She was distraught. The police were consoling her. Is a mother. She lost her child. Regardless if him did gay or not, her heart got hurt. The Jamaica Fire Brigade was summoned to assist with removing the bodies from the top floor of the building as the staircase that leads up to the room is dismantled. So them have them special way of entering that building and going up there, and that itself could be a safety mechanism, right? Them alone know how to reach up there, so them go up, they go sleep, and them not have to worry about anybody coming in and hurting them while they are in the confines of what they call their home. More than a dozen spent case shells were retrieved from the scene. Damn! More than a dozen spent case shells were retrieved from the scene. Residents said that it was not the first time that the men were targeted. It was not the first time that the men were targeted. They were beaten and robbed of their money and their high-end phones. Them have the latest iPhone and them always have money. And they were beaten and robbed before for their money and their phones, not because they were gay. Them beat them up already with baton. Them wicked. Remember that, is what one lady said. The lady, Young's mother, cry. His mama cry, remember? A down your belly, you know. Your belly pain. So she a go cry no matter what, is what another woman said who was crying as well, showing sympathy for Young as his mom was crying. The woman is expressing and saying, remember, say out her belly him come from, you know. So no, regardless of what, she's gonna cry. It's her child. Him a no troublemaker. Kevin and everybody around here are friends. Him not fire no gun. Him not run no program pan no man. Young is an amputee with a deformity to his left hand, like I told y'all before. And Gail is originally from Drews Avenue address in a Waterhouse, and him come over here, come live with Young. The people had an issue with the other one. Them never like how him bring him come live over here, so. And the mother rent over here and put him, and not even she did like that. No matter how Kevin tell him, if he go on and go, him still there around ya. A resident who claimed that she was a friend of Young said, now that right there sounds suspicious to me. You hear this? The people had an issue with the other one, not with the one that was born and raised there. The other one where him bring come live round there. Them never like how him bring him come live round here. And the other one, and the mother rent over there so and put him in it. And not even she did like that. No matter how Kevin tell him to go on, him still there about round here. Is what one resident who said they are friends with them claimed. Deputy Superintendent of Police Minto, Operations Officer for the St. Andrew South Police Division, said that the Major Investigation Division is investigating the double murder. 2 male bodies seen in the upper floor of that appeared to be an abandoned building. There is a joint operation effort between Kingston West and St. Andrew South, even as they coordinate the patrol the border at the location, she said. So, many things here could have happened. Why didn't they like him? Why didn't they want him around there? I mean, if they accepted Kevin, maybe they accepted Kevin out of respect for his mother, you know, since Mummy been around there her whole life and her son was born there. But as Kevin grew, he became more flamboyant with how he was. And people are said, sure, we used to him already. But now bring nobody else come around here, we look so. And then him start bring others around that looked like it. And them never liked that. Could have been anything. Guest number 2.5 says, no human being deserves to be killed because you do not share the beliefs that they have. Jamaicans, we have to stop killing each other. Leave the judgment to God. And there you are judging. Les says, unfortunately, there are some holier than thou art people out there who believe that this is justifiable because he disagrees with this young man's lifestyle, claiming it is what brought him to his death. He cannot name a single crime that this man committed, but to not kill him. Lindell McCormick says, I agree, we have to stop killing each other, but also we have to stop the feminization of our young men. Treating boys like girls is contributing to the social and moral decline in this country. Boys must be raised and socialized to be and to become responsible and productive adults, similar to how my generation was raised. Well, Lindell McCormick, your generation was raised like that, and I guarantee you, so a whole heap of Batman did in it to one lesbian too. It was just a time gone by where they were not allowed to be out on Front Street and express themselves openly. Operations Chaos. First of all, let me say this. As SouFLoTV, the notion that people have that this stuff just started existing, if you go back in the biblical times, this did dead. So I don't know how some people come to the conclusion that in my day and when I was raised, them did dead too. Right? So let's get past that. Operation Chaos 1962 present says, ask God about that. Remember, the LGBTQ, twin cities in the Bible where he mash up. Dan says, people talking like gay people just appear on earth. They are not going anywhere, no matter what people say. Why are people killing other human beings? We kill gay, we kill straight, we kill young, we kill old, we kill man, we kill woman, we kill baby, we kill anybody. All excuses so we can do the wrong things and justify it. Educate Yourself says, place all gay men on an island with all the resources they need to survive, and the same for gay women. Natural selection will allow each group to multiply and prosper or go extinct. This analogy will solve any debate if this lifestyle is normal or an abnormality in the human population. The rotted clot. Holy Perp says, R.I.P. tragic. Their deaths might have been a result of involvement with some shady criminal characters. They might also be victims of robbery mixed with hate or all of the above. From experience, young men who have no jobs and migrate from other areas to the next are huge red flags. You know that they are no good if your own family is warning you to stay away from them. These type of idlers tend to be involved in shady things in their old community, and criminals are looking for them, and in most cases them bring that heat over to your community, or them bring them bad behavior over to your community, which brings trouble to the community, which is true. M-Whip says, may their souls rest in eternal peace. And DDT says, most murders in Jamaica are hate crimes. Lindell McCormick, one of the things I welcome home in the GOP, in Congress and state level are moving against the gay lifestyle. Even the Supreme Court might move against it. So there will be no hiding place in the US for this reprehensible lifestyle. M-Whip says, he who is without sin cast the first stone. And again, the next person said, the gay people lifestyle is a threat to civilization and decency, my friend. You are what you are at birth. While not supporting the murderous act meted out to these men, their chosen lifestyle is what caused their deaths. Somebody answered that and said, which Bible are you reading from? Cause remember, we are sinners, and that's why Christ came, to save us. And when we judge others, we sin. And if our sin is even as small as a mustard seed, we cannot enter heaven neither. So I don't know where you talk. Boy, that part there, I don't know where you talk about. Anyway, here what? 2 more comments and I'm gone. TJ said, so a gun got up on its own looking for gay men? What threat? People are still being born and populations are growing. Operation Chaos says, well, the people of Maxfield Avenue make the entire world know how them feel about homosexuals. Them where they corrupt the place like they are corrupting the USA and elsewhere. This was a message sent. Well, me no know enough. It is what it is. My condolences goes out to the woman them who birthed them youth the same way, because regardless of their lifestyles that they chose, they are human beings and they were somebody's child or children. See, me no want none of my youth them dead like this. Even if them turn out to be like this, me still wouldn't wish this upon them, so me wouldn't definitely never wish it upon another person's child. Remember karma, alright? And remember, so none of us are God or the Almighty God. Therefore, we leave that type of a judgment to the Almighty God. And I'm still a big supporter of to each his own. Focus on you. Live your life and be the best person you can be. Respect who respect you. Honor and love who honor and love you. And go about life in a decent way. Seeing, sow good seeds of karma so that good things will happen to you. And not just you. To your children as well. And your children's children. A bloodline can stand up in a man with bad luck for generations to come, or it can be fruitful with blessings for generations to come. Think about that. I'll catch y'all on the next video with SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.
Here you have it, family, your pineapple grilled pork chops. It's all nice and flaky, very flaky. When you make your crust, it have to be flaky like this.
Alright, my SouFLoTV audience, listen. If you have not found out about this channel yet and subscribed to this channel and started following this channel called Eat Good TV, I suggest that you go do so now. I did not even know that sweet potatoes can make a punch. I did not know that bammies can make burgers. I have never had pineapple pork before. I'm not even that good of a pork eater. But after seeing this lady, Miss Margaret, over at Eat Good TV do the pineapple pork, I tell you, say, I wanted to try the pineapple pork. Listen, man, she is setting the bar high, all right? And if you're into Jamaican food, I know you might be able to cook it already, but I guarantee you, you're not cooking it like she's cooking it. She is adding a twist to it. So, Miss Margaret, big up yourself over at Eat Good TV and SouFLoTV audience. If you're seeing this, please go find Eat Good TV and click that link and tell her I sent you.